You know, the more I play Fear and Hunger, the more I realize something that is very simple, but I think it's better if I say it. The more knowledge you have, the easier the game becomes, the easier opportunities you have to be able to turn the tables. But this made me wonder, what if I didn't want to turn the tables? What if my sole purpose in the run was to avoid getting every single ending possible? And that's exactly what we're gonna do today! This is how to softlock yourself in Fear and Hunger! First of all, let me explain what I mean. I don't mean an easy softlock in which, I don't know, you may just get infected, go to the 6th chamber past, and then just go to save in a spot or something so you cannot leave the room anymore. Or even, I don't know, getting 99 hunger and then saving so once you leave the bed your hunger goes to 100 and you immediately die. No. That's easy. I want a way to make it so someone even moving into the dungeon cannot achieve the endings. So first of all, a little premise. We're gonna use Ragnar as main character, even though I think this is possible even with the others, but this is a topic for another video maybe. Then we're gonna play on Terror and Starvation difficulty, because we will not cover the S endings in hard mode in this category, because those are very easy to get blocked from. But that's a topic for another video. And also remember, probably this isn't the only way to softlock yourself, but it's a way I found, so follow me. We have 5 endings achievable in Fear and Hunger: A, B, C, D, E. Let's cover them one at a time, starting from Ending A, which is probably the most simple one. Ending A requires you to reach the end of the gauntlet having the girl in your party. How do we prevent this? It's very simple.
Just make the girl get killed.
And important, you cannot just trade the girl to Pocket Cat, because in that case there is a very strange debug spot in the Temple of Torment where you can regain the girl if she isn't dead. But if she is dead, she's gonna be immediately removed from your party every single time. So, Ending A, impossible! Now we're gonna go to Ending B, where things start to get a little bit complicated. Okay, so Ending B requires us to reach the end of the gauntlet without the girl. So the most simple thing that comes to my mind in order to prevent this is to just prevent our entrance into the gauntlet altogether. How do we do that? Follow me, because it's gonna be a freaking roller coaster. First of all, take the Cube of the Depths to make the Cave Dweller vendor hostile. In this way, in case that vendor was selling explosive vials, you cannot buy them anymore. Then, take the guaranteed explosive vials in the game. There is one in the infested part of the mines, and one in the Nosramus house on the shelf. And yeah, there is also technically one in the old passage, but that's required to leave the old passage, so I guess you are just gonna have to use it there, so it doesn't count. Remember, all of this has to be done without ever opening the way through the thicket. If you understand what I mean, we are gonna try to prevent our access to the second organ required to enter inside of the gauntlet. And since the explosive vials can also randomly be obtained from crates, the next step is very simple. Collect all the crates in the dungeon! All of them! Including those in the dream by entering and then getting killed by a dog or something. You're gonna be fine, no worries. And now that we did this, you have to do the same but for the bookshelves, because in case we find some empty scrolls, we have to immediately waste them. And also,
I'm not including the 50% chance of an empty scroll from the Iron Shakespeare, because we aren't Kahara and we won't get the Endless Soul.
But we will talk about this later. Okay, so now we have plenty of explosive vials and plenty of empty scrolls in the best case scenario. Consume every single one of them. Explosive vials, you can just throw them on a door. Empty scrolls, you can just write random things in it. Also remember, if from the bookshelves you get the Pinecone Pig instructions, reset immediately. But I'm gonna explain why later. Also, just to make it even better, be sure to loot randomly from a guard or just from crates a Ring of the Steel Blood. This is gonna be useful later. Okay, so we cannot enter through the thicket using the explosive vial passage. There is another way to enter inside of the thicket. If you collect the blue scene using a goal, then you're gonna get access to the thicket through the infested part of the mines. How do we resolve this? Very easy. Get Necromancy and bring to life and kill all the goals, because you cannot use Necromancy twice on them. Now we cannot enter the thicket through the explosive vial passage, we cannot enter through the blue scene passage, we cannot cut off the second organ required to open the mouth of the God of the Depths. The Ending B is officially impossible. After this, there is another easy one. Ending C requires to reach the void having a Legard in your party. And this is very easy because in case, after doing all the stuff I already told you to do, 30 minutes didn't pass, just make a 30 minutes pass in-game. And then walk on the stairs near Legard, because on those stairs there is the trigger that counts how much time did pass, and in case more than 30 minutes passed, Legard is gonna stay dead.
Also very important, don't open the door of Legard, this will be useful much later.
But regardless of that, ending C is officially impossible. Now there are only 2 endings remaining, but the next one... the next one is gonna be a pain. Okay, so... Ending D requires to just reach the void. How do you do that? In order to reach the void, you have to collect the Endless Soul, the Enlightened Soul, the Tormented Soul, and use all of them to heal the Nameless figurine, enter the Golden Temple, defeat Francois, and then you're good to go. How do we prevent this? The souls I mentioned can be collected in 2 ways: defeat the respective new god in Mahabre, or by killing the other party members available in the dungeon and using a soulstone on them. So we have to make them...
disappear, I may say.
First of all, kill all the remaining skeletons in the dungeon by using necromancy and then making them killed. After this, get the Eclipse Talisman from the Yellow Mage, and take Enki and Kahara doing their quests. And the last thing to do to make them disappear is to die against the coin flip attack of the Lord of the Flies. In this way, you're gonna enter instead of a cage in Mahabre without your party members. You will need a small cure red vial to escape, but I mean...
we literally looted the whole dungeon crate, so we should have one.
Now, with Enki and Kahara out of the way, the only way to collect the Enlightened Soul and the Endless Soul is to defeat the respective new gods. And I would like to focus on Skin Granny, because between the 2, she is the hardest one. How do we make this fight impossible? First of all, consume all water vials. Oh, and also, in case you have Alchemilia Volume 1 from the bookshelves, then be sure to craft every single mix of blue and green and use it. In this way, we don't have poison healing. Then enter in battle with the Body Snatcher and get toxic on you. Then enter in battle with a spider and get poison. Now, we literally lose 30 HP at the end of every turn. Guys, 30 HP is not a joke. And the most important part is we cannot cure it. Now, if you may have some silver coins, consume all the silver coins you have in buying a Purifying Talisman, and then consume the Purifying Talisman during battles against doors. After this, drink all the mind-restoring items that you have. Also remember,
just keep the Ring of the Steel Blood on yourself, so you cannot unequip it. Never.
And now, consume everything else you have in your inventory that can be consumed. Lucky coins, warm juice, healing items, everything. You have to remain with almost nothing in the inventory of the consumable stuff. There are just a couple more steps to make this impossible, which are: kill all enemies with a death cutscene in which you don't die, because they may screw up us later. Because when you die, you lose all the status effects you have, and then when you respawn, you don't have status effects anymore, so no, just kill them all together. Then, kill all the party members remaining that I may have forgotten about, except Darcy, but this is gonna come up later, okay? And the last thing to do before looking a little bit at our situation is cut off both your arms. Now, we can't wield weapons, can't use spells because we don't have mind for them. The only zero-cost spell is Combustion, but we cannot open Nosramu's door because we consumed all the Purifying Talismans, and we don't have counter magic, and we cannot get counter magic because we either have to defeat Valtail or kill Enki, but Enki's disappeared.
In post-production, while doing this video, I realized that Enki in some cases in Terror and Starvation can bug, and you can find a marriage Enki from which you're able to get the Enlightened Soul. So the only thing you can do is go to the Combustion spell, teach it to someone else, and make that someone else die. Easy.
And we are gonna take 30 HP of damage at the end of every turn from Toxic and Poison respectively, which we cannot cure. Also, we cannot implement accessories in our strategies because we have the Ring of the Steel Blood equipped. This is literally a soft lock. Even in the best case scenario, we don't have any more healing items because we consumed everything. We cannot defeat the Skin Granny, right? There is one thing that I didn't consider. The game spaghetti code. You may think that Skin Granny is unkillable right now, because her attacks have 100% accuracy and they bypass our evasion because they are certain hits, so they are unavoidable attacks altogether, except for the legs which have just a 50% chance of attacking us. But there is a problem.
Debug spots.
Debug spots are leftovers from the developer in the testing period of the game, and they allow us to get some infinite things, we may say. Infinite light blue vials from a debug spot in Mahabre, infinite sticks, infinite cloth fragments.
And that's why I never said to you to put bleeding on yourself, because you can heal it regardless.
Penance armor, which is the best armor in the game, so someone that wants to escape from this softlock may keep it for sure, so let's keep it. And then infinite empty scrolls and quill. Also in this spot you can also get Darcy, the girl, and Ragnavaldr, but if they are dead you cannot collect them. And there is another very important debug spot, which is gonna give us Najra in the Pit of Enlightenment, which is an immortal party member with some good spells. So we can finish his mind so he cannot use spells anymore. But there is a problem. Since Najra is immortal, then there is a very small possibility that the Skin Granny will always attack him, and so we will have enough time to destroy the arms of the Skin Granny and eventually win. We have infinite healing after all, we have infinite healing of body. We cannot prevent it. I think we just have to give up, guys. Ending the cannot be prevented. Or is it? What if I told you that all of this can be done more easily? Are you ready to enter in the rabbit hole? Because there is no escape. Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Fight the Chromolar and carefully get blindness both on you and on Najra. This is gonna lower our accuracy by 75%. And now, take Darcy, which is still alive, and make you and Najra get Brain Flower against a Brain Flower enemy, which we cannot heal as we consumed all the worm juice. What does Brain Flower do? It makes us attack randomly and reduces the accuracy by a 50%. So now our accuracy is 0%. And now, fight a lizard man and make Darcy kill it while also dying from the counterattack damage. Save the game. Between blindness and brain flower we have 0% hit rate, so we cannot hit Skin Granny even with an infinite amount of time in which she always attacks Najra. And eventually, she will always kill us.
Ending the impossible.
But I know you guys are still thinking about the infinite empty scroll style, but there is a way to prevent it, which is also the way to prevent ending E. So, to get ending E, you just need to seal a guard, either dead or alive, then you can leave. How do we make this impossible? We need to have killed an enemy in front of his door. In this way, there is a particular bug that makes it so we cannot open the door anymore. So, it's done, right? No. Because unfortunately, if you use an empty scroll, you're able to get Phase Step, which is a spell that allows you to literally no-clip into the map, and we are able to reach Legard like that. You can just use some empty scrolls to get mind-restoring items or something. How do we prevent the usage of empty scrolls? And I realized how to do that just some weeks ago. To use an empty scroll, you need a menu. Some weeks ago, I did a run without opening the menu, and I noticed something. There is no in-game way to open the menu if you remove the control that opens it by using the controls menu in the settings. So, if you remove the possibility of open the menu and then save the game, we can't open the menu anymore. We cannot use the empty scrolls. We cannot get Phase Step. We cannot get anything from the empty scrolls.
Now save the game and enjoy this not completable save file. Ending E impossible.
This was so difficult. I know people may say, oh, you can just go into the game files and re-give you the option to open the menu. I mean, if you want to open the game files, you can just remove yourself from this situation altogether, giving you, I don't know, a mind-restoring item or something. This is an in-game softlock. Doesn't matter how you look at it. You have to use things outside of the game itself to be able to unsoftlock yourself. And if you're here until the end, please consider subscribing, as this required a lot of my time
and sanity, clearly,
to be made. So I would really appreciate that. But anyways, for today is everything, and I will see you
next time.